What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about OnyxCoin today, XCN. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. We're grinding out this area, and I can't think of a single moment in time where you found support 4 times on the same line and you did not go below. But it can happen, I suppose. Anything can happen. What I mean, it can happen. I mean that we can go to the upside. We'll get into this here, but I do want to talk about, I just want to go over some times here. Let's see if we can find any examples, right? Let's see here. So I mean here, for example, right at this low, you found support once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, and then you broke a little bit lower, and then you went up, right? Something like that could happen, right? Any moments where we grinded out an area. We grinded the hell out of this area. We had one low, though, that stood out from the rest of them, but we did grind out this area for a very long time and then inevitably went up, which, again, it's not normally common to do that, but oftentimes when you're supposed to go lower and you just don't, well, then that's a good time to reverse. If we're looking here, to be fair, this is kind of a nice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Then on the 6th time, we went just below it, but just below it is not that significant, you guys. There's been times, there's been moments in OnyxCoin's history where we have grinded out areas and then found support. I'm not saying that this is one of them, but I'm just saying it's a possibility. You know, we are waiting on today to close at 8 hours, 10 minutes from now. If it does close green, we do have bullish divergence on the daily RSI. We'll have bullish divergence while we're in the oversold zone. Coming out of the oversold zone, you guys, this could get us set up for some big things. And I keep going back and forth. I don't know what to think. I think that was kind of the main message of yesterday's video, last night's video, was that, you know, anything could happen right now. I am still anticipating that we go to the downside. The primary reason for that is I'm anticipating that Bitcoin goes down as well. But, I mean, XCN is up 1% today, 1.5%. Bitcoin's neutral. I mean, it was just red a second ago, a little bit more red than this. That's not a bad thing, I suppose. You know, oftentimes whenever you are supposed to go lower and you don't go lower, and who am I to say you're supposed to go lower? But whenever I see things that are interpreted as like you're supposed to go lower and you don't, oftentimes you tend to do the other thing. You actually go to the upside. And we're definitely overdue for a massive pump. You know, I've got all these people. Man, I'm not like bothered by it, but it's annoying. It is annoying. I've got all these people who question my character, who say things like, you should be ashamed of yourself getting all these people into this thing. They're going to get duped. They're going to lose their money. Like, you've never admitted you're wrong once, stuff like that. Just lies, just straight lies, because I admit that I'm wrong all the time. If I'm wrong about something, I admit that I'm wrong. I'll put it in the title. I'll put it in the headlines. I'll even shout out people that I was having discussions with about it, and I'll be like, you got me. I'm waving the white flag. I've been wrong. But what's annoying is not that. That's not annoying. What's annoying is the thought that all of these spineless jellyfish of trolls out there who are questioning my character, who don't have a foot to stand on, they can't hold a candle to me. Whenever the price does pump, where are you going to be? Where's your apology video going to be? Where's your face to the name? Where's your status? It's not anywhere to be found. You're not going to be anywhere. Whenever OnyxCoin's at 20 cents to 30 cents, you might even be buying it from me and the people who are buying now, who will be selling it to you. You will be nowhere to be found. You're talking very loud down here, and you don't even have a leg to stand on. Or maybe you have half a leg to stand on, and that's the only reason why you're talking right now. And then what's going to happen whenever the price pumps? What's going to happen whenever the price is at 20 cents to 30 cents? I wonder what happens. I don't really wonder, though. We know what's going to happen. Trolls, you guys, when the sun comes out, they run. They run scared back to their caves, and they're nowhere to be found. They have no honor. They have no code. They're just here to talk a bunch of smack, and it's just funny. It's funny that they think they have any kind of right to question my character whenever it's like, man, I've been here before. I've been here so many times, man, with people who don't believe in my predictions, people who, my own family, my own friends who are in the real world don't believe my predictions. And all it takes is one cycle. That's it. One cycle, and then they start listening to me. And that's just how it is. And I'm not saying, I'm not financial advice, not a financial advisor. You don't got to listen to me. Don't listen to me. Do your own thing. I'm just saying this isn't new. But the annoying thing, which is also not new, the annoying thing is all the people who talk the loudest, they're nowhere to be found once the sun comes to shine. And that's exactly what trolls do, man. They run away, they hide in their caves, they evaporate. So just letting you guys know out there, if you want to keep talking smack, have fun while you can. Have fun while you can. We're at these lows for a little bit. Some people, by the way, are thinking that I've been calling for the upside throughout this whole time, and we're talking about the upside. Yes, we are talking about the upside. But man, the downside has what we've been calling for, a slow bleed down. You can watch any of these videos. That's been the call for a while now. And going down to prices that are potentially at 007. We're at 0089 right now. That's a new call. That's a new expectation that's been like since the last week. And it's something we've flirted with as far as an idea goes, but largely we've assumed that the land of the rising sun would uphold us. And I think that it will. I think that it will. I mean, well, maybe I shouldn't say that. I think that it could. I'm not entirely sure. And I don't think that I should say something if I'm not entirely sure about it, right? So I'm not entirely sure if it does. But what I am sure of is that if this is a flat base, if we are grinding it out, if we do have one little move down that takes us down there, and it's as soon as we go down, we come up, as we've seen before, it's nothing to worry about. It's really nothing to worry about. And as far as I'm concerned, a fake out is not the same thing as breaking out, right? That's not the same thing. A fake out is not a breakout. So for all intents and purposes, I think the land of the rising sun will uphold us. Even if we do see some kind of movement down and we come back up immediately, right? It's still going to uphold us. We might not find support. Our low might not be within the land of the rising sun, but we're going to have to learn how to play that song, House of the Rising Sun, on guitar for you guys whenever the time comes for this thing to move up higher. If we look at this, the bull flag has undoubtedly broken out, right? People are saying we've been in a bull flag for 3 months, and this is what they must have missed yesterday's video. We haven't been in a bull flag for 3 months, actually. Right? If we look at this, very literally, from the high down to where we broke out, which is right here, that was less than 2 months' time, actually. That was a less than 2 month long bull flag, right? Saying that we've been in a bull flag for 3 months would imply that we're still in a bull flag, of which we are clearly not. We've broken out to the upside, right? It's just, and the reason why, and if anybody's hearing that, they're like, oh, you're coping. There's no way. This is not, we're still in the bull flag. Okay. My question to you would be, if the shoe was on the other foot, if we were down here, would we not have broken out to the downside? Would this not have been a busted bull flag? You know what I mean? Like, I would have, at this point, I would have no problem. I wouldn't be like, oh, we're still in a bull flag. That's coping. That's the definition of coping. So anybody who up here has a problem with me saying that we are in a we've broken out of the bull flag, we're no longer in a bull flag. Yeah, I don't know. The cope is on the other cope, on the other dope there, bro. I don't know what else to say. We're breaking out. We're breaking out above this downward sloping trend line that we were in for less than 2 months. We're breaking out of it. We've back tested it for support and continue to hold up at it for support. Here we had a fake out where we wicked above it, but we couldn't quite get above it. But here we've been closing above it, finding support above it, even had a fake out to the downside with an immediate recovery up. I'm assuming that this is only a sign of good things to come, right? This is a turning point, a change of momentum in OnyxCoin. You can see it with the lows here. It's kind of like rounding out, right? And it doesn't have to rip immediately. Oh, I don't even know what just happened there. It doesn't, I guess I let go and then I clicked this. It doesn't have to rip immediately. It can at any single moment. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. This is why we wait. This is why you buy and hold. And for the people who are unaware of why buy and hold strategy is such a important thing, why hodl in crypto is such an important thing, and why that's become a term, it's because of moments like this. It's because of these slow bleeds, these moments of boredom, these moments where rest assured, or what am I? Mutually assured destruction is coming our way, right? But it doesn't come our way, and we keep moving sideways. And all the people that wanted to get out, they've already gotten out. So what does that mean? That means there's only people who want to get in now, right? As we continue to grow, people will want to come in. The people who sold down here, especially so. The people who sold the absolute low, they're going to be the first wave of people who want to get in. The people who sold up here and they want nothing to do with OnyxCoin, they're going to be that next wave of wanting to get in. The people who trade throughout this range and they do a bad job and they trade most of their portfolio away and they get out before it moves back up, they're gonna continue the pressure. And then of course, as we continue to progress, as this thing sets itself away from the rest of the pack, you will have new investors come in. And when the new investors come in, that's when we're really going to take off. And where we're taking off to, my friends, are dramatically higher targets than we're at now. I'm not just saying 20 cents for effect. We've done the math. I'm not going to do the math on it now, but let's just look at this real quick. This is something else that I've actually been meaning to talk about over the past few days, but I'm just getting distracted and I forget. I get on all these other things. I get really bullish. I talk about the land of the rising sun and I get distracted, you know. But if we're looking at, that's a great laugh, isn't it? If we're looking at this on a FIB perspective, from a high to a low, we went all the way up to our 2272, just above it. It's very common to do. Something that's pretty common as well, and let me just put it in this kind of respect. Sometimes you go from your 2618 to your 1618. Sometimes you go from your 1618 to your 618 for support, and then 2618 and then 1618. Sometimes you do stuff just like this, and it's not that cut and dry. Do not mistake what I'm about to say or what I have said already for if you find resistance at the 2618, you go down to the 1618. That's not always how it happens. Okay, sometimes, like it happens a good bit of the time, but with the 2272, it's a similar kind of idea. 2272 down to the 1272 for support, and we're basically there now. We are at that level. We tipped it precisely, perfectly now. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 weeks in a row to the downside. I can't believe every week that passes, man. I can't believe that we're continuing to drop like this. But here it is. I say every week. I mean, to be fair, the last couple weeks we've been expecting it to drop, but for a while there, for these first couple weeks in February especially, was not expecting that we would go below the 1618. But here we are at the 1272 and the 2272 to the 1272. This kind of dynamic is actually very, very common. It's very powerful. It's a very powerful setup, you guys. It can launch us all the way up to the 3272, which is just above the 3113 here. And what is just above the 3113? It's this weekly low closing area here, right there. And I wonder actually if we put on the 3272, which I don't normally do, but let's just, because I don't actually normally find significance there, and I don't think that we will, but let's see. Where would that be? Pretty damn close. Pretty damn close to this area, maybe on a wicking low instead of a closing low. That's where we go. It's right there. Wouldn't it be funny? 2272, 1272, 3272. Serendipitous. That's not the call, but I'm just saying oftentimes I wonder if we could find an instance of this. Maybe we can find it with Bitcoin. Let's see. Let's see here. Where would we go? What would be a good kind of instance of this symmetry? Nope. Maybe not with Bitcoin. Bitcoin's just too chaotic at times, isn't it? Maybe on the bearish side. Okay, maybe on the bearish side. Let's see. Nope, 1272 right up to the 0.5. 1886. Nope, that doesn't count. I'm gonna waste too much time trying to look for these examples, but it does happen. Just believe me whenever I say this. I've seen it happen plenty of times. I can't see anything that I think would represent that properly. Oh, dude, you guys check this guy out. Hey, sweet potato, get down. Sweet potato, get down from there. I'm gonna have to help her out. Hold on. The cat's name is Sweet Potato. Oh, he's scared. She's scared. Hey, it's okay. Okay. Sweet potato. Sweet potato, get down. Oh, I need a belt, man. These pants are a little bit too big on me now. All right, so where were we? What were we saying here? What were we saying here? I know what you're all thinking. Yes, it is a nice ass. No, we're at 82.8K right now on Bitcoin. Bitcoin's holding up rather well. XCN's at 00. Dude, sweet potato, get down. This you guys. I feel like that guy from Step Brothers. Cinnamon! Down, Cinnamon! I did not name the cat. That was my grandma that named the cat. But anyways, 209 right now in XCN. Holding up well versus Bitcoin. Holding up well versus the stock market even. And hopefully today can close green. If we can close green, you guys, I forget what I was saying, but essentially with this, I would assume that we do see some immaculate growth versus Bitcoin, right? This chart, I think, tells a lot more than the USD pair does, and that's a 19x versus Bitcoin, you guys. If we see a 19x versus Bitcoin, what are we going to see versus the US dollar? I expect Bitcoin to move up more than 100% from here. If we see a 19x in that same amount of time versus Bitcoin, what are we going to see versus the USD? I'm not saying 20 cents to lie to you. I'm not saying it for some kind of effect. It promotes an effect. It affects me too. It's rather salivating. I'm not going to lie. And we should stay grounded to some degree. It wouldn't surprise me. I wouldn't be surprised in the least if we found resistance at about, where is it? Nope, sorry, this is the wrong chart to look at. If we found resistance at about 14 cents. I wouldn't be surprised in the least if we found resistance, somewhere around 12 to 14 cents. That could happen. It's not the expectation. It's not what I'm calling for. That'd be a little bit lackluster, in my opinion, for this next move to come, but it could happen. We could stop around 14 to 12 cents. It really could happen. But even then, from the current price, that's insane gains. That's immaculate growth, let alone if it does exactly what I think it's going to do, which is above 20 cents, maybe even above 30 cents by the end of May, by the end of June. We just got to be patient, man. We got to be patient. I think that the details, the fine details are coming out. We're seeing some of these bullish effects taking place when we're diverging away from our downtrend. We have broken out of the bull flag. Now all we have to do is wait for the breakout move to come, and it's coming. It's right around the corner. I think if Bitcoin and crypto as a whole holds their ground until April 10th, these lower targets that I've been calling for Bitcoin, they go away. Unless on the 10th, the CPI data, the inflation data comes out and it's actually bad. If the data is bad, then that might not be a good thing, my friends. But I think it's going to come out good. And it's a lot of assuming, but I think it will come out good, and that will likely absolve us of seeing lower prices. But will Bitcoin hold on? Will it not move down for the next, I mean, if it's 6 days from now, can it hold off for that long? Can XCN hold off with Bitcoin? Can we pump? The answer is yeah, it could happen, but will it is the real question. So that's all I got for you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I feel like I was a little bit all over the place. Sweet potato got me all thrown off, but hopefully you enjoyed the video. Okay, bye-bye.